Hello, everybody. Welcome to Engage with Sage. We're so excited you're here, and we are so pumped. The whole Sage Center has been working really, really hard on this week's episode, especially Miss Duffett. We are so excited. Here in a second, the main star of the show will come on, and I wanted to give everyone a shout out so far. We have so many people live out there watching, and Miss Duffett really wanted this show to have the most live views. So if you are just now joining us, welcome, and we're so happy you're here. So over in the comment bar, just make sure you are being professional and being respectful and only posting comments, thoughts, or questions to the teachers or to the host. So today, during Miss Duffett's cooking show, you can ask questions, thoughts, comments that will be shared with her throughout the show. I will not be on the screen. I know, you're so sad, but I will still be in the background, and I'll be able to share all your amazing thoughts with our host, Dining with Duffett. Here she is, Miss Duffett. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. I've always wanted my own show. Now, Fogel, get off the screen. It's my show today. Yay. I'm so happy that all of you that are out there watching, or if you're going to watch this later, even better, you can watch it again. Even more wonderful. I have always wanted to have my own show. Those of you that are Duffeteers know that my dream job, other than teaching, especially teaching Sage, I wanted my own radio show. Wanted to host my own radio show in the morning. Never thought I would be hosting a cooking show, but here we are. I'm so excited for this opportunity. I was telling the other Sage teachers this morning that I really, really miss teaching kitchen chemistry. I've been really missing it anyway, but coming in this morning and being able to get out all my equipment and get everything set up makes me really miss it, and I can't wait for us to get to do that again. So I'm going to start by saying, you see that I do not have my mask on. I am in a secured area. We have literally caution taped my Duff land off today so that no one else can come in our area so that I can have my mask off. The other teachers are in secure locations for when they join me for the later part of the show. Ms. Fogel is in her secure broadcasting closet. So just knowing that all protocols are still being followed here, and we're being safe. I got my mask right here, but we've caution taped this off. I also want to give a shout out to the other Sage teachers. If you guys could see the production studio that is set up right now behind the scenes, it is amazing. We worked so hard yesterday in a collaborative effort to give me my own studio right here in the kitchen chemistry area. Ms. Torres used her interior design expertise to get me set up. I got this cute little stage here, just like I'm Rachel Ray. Ms. Coe helped me get the photography lights all set up. So I've got reflecting lights and my ring light. I got it all. Hope I look good. Always wanted to be on camera. Ms. Fogel's got the technology going on. And then all the teachers are helping behind the scenes right now get my cooking show prepared. Okay. So of course, this will be a little kitchen chemistry today. And I think somebody may have done something similar to this in their Kitchen Chemistry 2 project when we went virtually last spring. And I kind of threw it out there for the kids to come up with their own project at home, their own science project, if you will. And I think somebody kind of did a variation of this, but for everybody. And if you're a sixth grader out there, believe me, you are going to get a chance to take kitchen chemistry at some point. It's great. We blend science and cooking and or baking together. And then I started a Kitchen Chemistry 2 course last semester that we kind of had to take on virtually. So we had to make a little changes to that. So I haven't actually gotten to teach that entire course yet. Okay. So for our science today, I am going to be making some brownies, and I'm going to model for you making the control to that. But then I also did 2 variables. I made some substitutions to the brownies, and then the teachers are going to kind of taste test those in a little bit and talk about their appearance, the taste, and the texture versus the control. So when I make these substitutions, and I'll talk about that today, I'll talk about why I made those substitutions. And then those are called variables. So these are things that you can do at home as well. Anytime you're cooking, and this is where the creativity comes into it. You know, if you're just following a recipe, that's great. Sometimes I need to do that because I don't know how it's going to turn out yet. Other times I can make substitutions, or after I've had something the first time, I think, oh, well, I can change this, or I can do this differently. You can modify those recipes for, specific diets or dietary needs. And other times it's just fun. If I do this, what will happen? Okay. Now, like I said, don't go too crazy in your mom's kitchens, kids, or grandma's, or whoever loves you. Don't go crazy in their kitchen. We don't want to explode anything in the kitchen, but it is good to experiment and try different things and then think like a scientist. I'm going to ask these teachers to kind of think like a scientist too. When Miss Duffett made this substitution to the brownie today, you're judging it. You have to use your senses. What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Does it smell different? Okay. So for simplicity, unfortunately, Miss Vogel has only given me about a 15-minute show today. By the time I will let the other teachers participate, I promise. And then we'll do hot seat, because we know we all love that, Miss Vogel's favorite. Okay. So for simplicity, I just did a box mix today. You can make brownies from scratch and still make substitutions. Then you can make all kinds of substitutions. If you wanted to make sugar substitutions, for different types, testing different types of sugar, you can change the variables in any way that you want. Okay. So for my modeling today, I'm just going to follow the basic instructions here on the box, and then we'll talk about the substitutions that I made in the brownies as we go. Sound good? Okay. So basic box mix. And for our purposes today, because I did not want 9 billion brownies floating around the Sage Center, none of us need all those brownies here. I am only doing half of the mix. Okay, so this is where my math skills come in as well, because I'm going to have to modify the instructions here and do my ratios, look at my fractions. Math teachers out there, you'll be proud of me for talking about fractions today. I'm pouring my mix into the bowl. Then, before I forget, I am going to preheat my oven. So I tell the students, you got to preheat your oven. So bake. I'm taking it down to 325 per my directions.
Miss Duffett, while that is preheating, I just want to let you know we are at a record live views right now, and we have comments coming in, and everyone is saying you're doing an awesome job. And we have some questions for you as well when you get to it. Good.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do a question now, or you want to wait?
We can wait. You're on.
All right. So as I go through this, the mix calls for the full package, which I'm only doing half. There's my first fraction, half. So I pre-measured this. I poured it into a 4-cup measuring glass cup, and I pre-measured it out to where I would have about 2 cups of mix here. And then it asked for 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of vegetable oil, and a 1/4 cup of cold water. So I'm going to start. I have a 1/4 cup measuring cup. I don't have half of a 1/4, which would be an 1/8. So I guesstimated. Sometimes we do that in cooking and science. Sometimes we have to be very precise. But in this case, in cooking, we can kind of go, looks about half. Sounds good to me. I'm pouring in an 1/8 of a cup of water. Okay. It's called for 2 eggs. So half of 2 is 1. So I'm going to crack my egg. Perfect skills, kids. Perfect skills. And if you take kitchen chemistry, you will learn how to separate an egg. I will teach you how to separate whites and yolks without needing any equipment. Don't need any fancy tools, no, kitchen tools. I'm going to teach you how to do it with just your eggshells. Okay, so shout out to everybody who's learned how to do that in kitchen chemistry. Then, and here's the last ingredient, which is where I'm going to make my substitution. Okay, for the real recipe, for the control today, teachers, remember, the control is going to be the one that's the box version. It asks for 2/3 cup of vegetable oil. So because I've only made half of this package, I am going to use a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. And this is where I started to make my substitutions in my variables for the taste testing that the teachers will do. We talk about in kitchen chemistry that vegetable oil is not a great cooking tool because it's not very healthy for you. One of the things that I bring into kitchen chemistry is talking about, when you're eating and cooking, what are you actually consuming? So when you use oil of any kind, you are consuming fat molecules, okay? And we talk about that vegetable oil is not the greatest types of fats to be putting into our systems, okay? All oils are hydrophobic, meaning they do not mix well with water. They are afraid of water. Think hydrophobic, afraid of water. So this is why, like, even in a brownie mix, I can't just put water and oil in here with this brownie mix because it won't blend. Those molecules, they like to play separately. They are not good hand holders together. Oil likes to be in its own group of molecules. We're not playing with anybody else. Water can blend with some molecules, but the oil is like, no, I don't want to play with those water molecules. So we have to bring in something else that will mix with both. So that's why even on a brownie box mix, you have to add an emulsifier, which is the egg component, so that all those molecules will hold hands together and actually blend into your mixture. So I've got my handy stir slash spatula here. So Ms. Fogel, while I stir, do we have a good question?
We have a lot of questions. So we're going to go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's start. Hit me.
Yeah. So here you go. It's kind of like fast questions here. What's the most tastiest thing you've ever made?
Tastiest thing I've ever made. Ooh, one of my kids' favorite things that I make is, many of you know me know that I eat on a keto diet. And so we do lots of substitutions in our house because I don't eat carbs. So my kids love it when I make a zucchini lasagna. It takes a lot of work, so I don't make it very often. So they do like that.
All right, here we go. For Miss Duffett, what's your favorite thing to bake / cook?
Oh, I'm not much of a baker, guys. I gave up kind of eating carbs and sweets, although I do love them. Don't get me wrong. I love them. So I'm probably more of a cook type of person. And honestly, my favorite thing to do is grill. I've said this before, I think, on an Engage with Sage. I know sometimes we think, like it's kind of a guy's job to grill. And I am here to tell you that I am a really excellent griller. I just got a new grill and I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing to sit on my deck and grill. And I measure the temperature of the meat. I'm very precise about it. That's the key, is you got to constantly measure the temperature to make sure you're getting it to where it's the temperature that's healthy to eat, but not that you're overcooking it, because then you ruin a good steak. We don't want to do that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Duffett. Here we go. Here's another one that kind of goes in with what we're doing today. Is lead, L-E-A-D, a good substitute for sugar?
I'm not sure what L-E-A-D is.
Oh.
So that's a good question. That's something I'm going to have to find out more. Yeah. I do not know. Is that lead? I don't know. We're not eating lead, right?
I think that's a great point. Teachers don't know it all. So
I definitely don't. I have learned so much. I will have to say I have definitely become a better cook / baker since I've been teaching this class. I never really thought about the science behind what I'm doing until now. And now that I think about it, I know so much more about what can I do, what's going to make it better. I pay more attention to what's happening. So as I mix this this is the control. So instead of using vegetable oil that's not as healthy for us, we can make substitutions to that. So I chose 2 different substitutions, and there are more out there. You could try all different types of oil. I never cook with vegetable oil in my house anymore, or even like a canola oil. Everything at my house is very natural. So we use a lot of avocado oil or coconut oil. So you could also substitute those in your recipe. Those are very keto friendly, although I wouldn't necessarily eat brownies, but you can make keto friendly brownies. But for our purposes, as I know some teachers are paying attention to what they're consuming these days, we're all trying to get better, be healthy individuals. I made 2 substitutions. So there's 2 variables today. One was unsweetened applesauce. Incredibly cuts down the fat that I have put into the brownies. The teachers are going to taste test today. Adds a more plant-based piece here. It's very natural, very healthy. If I look at the ingredients of this, it's apples, water, and then a little bit of ascorbic acid, which is the preservative that allows it to maintain its pretty golden color. You all know that if you cut an apple, it will turn brown. So if we tried to smush apples and put them in a bottle, they're going to turn brown. You have to add a little bit of acid to that to protect the apples. And this is a 1-to-1 ratio. Again, math teachers, you're going to love this. I'm talking ratios today. 1-to-1, I can use this the same as I did the vegetable oil. So in one batch, when I did a half a batch, I put in 1/3 cup of applesauce, unsweetened. So no sugar, no extra sugar here. The other one I did, and this is a little container, and I only needed a third cup, same 1-to-1 ratio of Greek yogurt. So like there's not a lot of dairy in brownies anyway, but this really significantly cuts down the fat content. This is 0 fat yogurt. So you're cutting calories, you're cutting fat, but it will still work in the same fashion to emulsify and blend together my mix, my egg, my water. And this is also for those of you who might be, lactose intolerant. You can have Greek yogurts. Okay. So just kind of talking about some different dietary things and how things blend together. Okay. So I'm going to spray my cooking tray here. All you that have participated in a baking guild or kitchen chemistry recognize. So I was so excited to get my little ovens out today. So I'm going to spray to the side.
So Ms. Duffett, while you're spraying, there's some conversation going on in the comment bar, and I think Ms. Schaefer kind of helped to answer that. But can you explain what that machine is next to you? Is it an oven? Is it a microwave? What is it?
Okay, so because we don't have a kitchen here at the Sage Center for us to use per se, it just does lunches, right? I have basically created my own little kitchen here at Sage, and I continuously add equipment to my kitchen over here. So this is an oven. It can work as a convection oven or just a regular oven. We use them all the time in kitchen chemistry. We've used them in our baking guilds. We use them in our cooking guilds. We have even made like pizza rolls. We've baked pizza rolls in them before. We have made frozen French fries in these ovens before. So yeah, this little machine right here is my oven. I set it to 325 per the directions. Then we have on these, we have to remember to hit bake so that the light comes on. When we see the light, we know we're ready to bake. Getting used to all those little tricks. But if you take kitchen chemistry, at some point we use burners. I have tabletop burners, the little ovens, hand mixers, blenders. I've kind of just fashioned a little makeshift kitchen here that we have, and we can do all kinds of things. Okay, so I've spread it nicely into my pan so that it's even. Now, again, I'm going to have to look at the box as a good following directions and problem solving and know that I'm only making a half of a batch. So I don't want to probably cook them as long as the directions say, especially because I'm using a smaller pan here as well. So even on the box, and I know I had a baking guild that worked on this last year, the size of your pan and the type of pan will affect your cooking temps. Okay, so this is always one of those things where you have to monitor this. And a good life lesson, this is where we have life hacks, kids. Things that I love about my job that I can teach you, things you will really use in your life. So I'm opening the lid here, sorry, the front of it, and I can put my brownies in here. And because I butter sprayed this, they're sliding around. I'm trying to even it out here. So we want them to cook evenly. We don't want any part to be thicker than the other. This is real scientific here. Look, shake it, even it out, shake it. Very scientific process I just modeled. I'm going to stick that in there. Okay. I always go with a rule of thumb life hack. You can always cook something longer, but you can never take the time away from it once it's cooked. If you cook it too long and you burn it, you can't take that back. But I can underestimate my time. Okay. Set a timer. And you stick a toothpick down in there to see if your brownies are done. That's another good life hack. Or like a butter knife. You can stick that down. If it doesn't come out clean, your brownies aren't done. You got to cook them a little longer. I can add more time. And I can baby step that. So when I was cooking these last night at home, when I made part of them, try testing it out. You guys know I like to be a little bit of a perfectionist. I like it to be perfect. So I set a timer, underestimating. And then I would maybe do 3 more minutes, test them again, 3 more minutes, test them again. That's a very scientific process. So sometimes if it says, even if you're baking a frozen pizza and it says, 15 to 18 minutes, all ovens cook differently. So I always err on the side of underestimating. So I'll even start with like 13 minutes and then check it. Okay. And people like their cookies and their brownies and their baked goods or their pizza crusts at different things. Some people like it a little softer. Some people like it a little crispier. We like moist, soft brownies at the Duffett house. So I don't like to overcook them. Okay, so I am going to set a timer. I looked at the box and it says that I should cook these for about 38 to 40 minutes. Way too long. So I'm going to set my timer for about 18 minutes because I've already talked for at least 2. I was going to set it for 20. I got a little timer on here as well. Use your resources. It was already set at 17 minutes, so I'm just going to let it go there. I think it's going to be good. And then we'll check those brownies. That's my control group. So I'm going to have the other teachers join us now because they already have prepared samples. And they've got all 3 sets ready to go. They've got a control made with vegetable oil, and they've got the 2 variables there. They don't know which is which yet. There's Miss Torres has got her modeled plate for you. So they can taste test those. If everybody wants to do number 1 first, they can. They're looking for what does it look like? What is the texture? They'll feel that. Remember, we're using our 5 senses, and then they'll taste it. They can smell it if they want to. Can't really hear it. We don't really hear brownies. We might hear them enjoying their brownies if they're so delicious.
Okay, Miss Rust.
I love seeing you guys eat, and it's not me. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'm always in for a taste test, especially with brownies. So I give this one a 5 out of 5 for taste and texture.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Adamson.
They were very fudgy, so I liked them a lot. So 5 out of 5 as well.
And Miss Torres.
I really like the texture because, like Mr. Adamson said, they were kind of fudgy, sticky. I like that. And the taste was great, so I'll give it a 5.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, starting off strong, Miss Duffett.
All right. Now try number 2, everybody. We now have you forever eating on camera, guys.
Yeah, we do. Love it. Oh, screenshot, everybody.
Oh, Katie says you look gorgeous today, Miss Torres.
Oh,
Thank you, Katie.
I know there's so much stuff going on in that comment bar, and we are going to really.
I know I can't follow all of it. I just happened to see that one. Guys, we love it when you join us for these. Like, this is the highlight of my day. I've been so excited, you guys. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I couldn't sleep anymore. I was so excited for this.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with number 2. Let's start with Miss Torres.
All right, Torres, go.
So, honestly, my first bite of number 2, I was not super excited about, but then by the second or third bite, it kind of grew on me. It has a pretty dense texture, and the taste, I will say, there's kind of a little bit of an aftertaste that I'm getting, but it's growing on me. So I'm going to give that one a 3.
Good science words. You used density. Good job.
All right, Mr. Adamson.
I think 3 is about right. It's a little rubbery, kind of rubbery texture, and the chocolatey taste isn't as strong in it. So it's a little it's more subdued.
Ooh, got fancy words today.
Wow, you guys are doing great with your descriptions.
Are you ready
I
for
am.
mine? Okay, so I also give it a 3 because the texture kind of messed with me a little bit. But you know what it reminded me of? I think people who like the cosmic brownies that are terrible for you, that are sold by Little Debbie or something, they would love these because that's what this reminded me of. So they would probably give it a 5. It's a 3.
Minus the good fudgy frosting on top.
That's true. And sprinkles and yep.
Yeah. Okay, you guys ready for number 3? And then I'll tell you which one was which. The big reveal. They got that, so they're eating a lot of brownies today, kids. I'm putting them all into brownie comas today. And that's why I only made half batches of each of these, because we said we did not need all these batches of brownies here today.
All right. Ooh, we're going in for a couple of bites there. Okay, let's start with Mr. Adamson.
Well, these are hard. I'd probably give them a 3 again. The taste was much better than the second one, but the texture was very odd to me. So I'm gonna go with a 3 again. I wish I had the taste of these and the texture of the second one, and that would be more like a 4.
Okay, Miss Rust.
I think this one is just a notch better than number 2. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I agree with Mr. Adamson. The taste is better.
And Miss Torres.
Mrs. Russ, I was thinking the same thing. Is there something between a 3 and a 4? And we'll go with our decimals, 3.5. Because, like Mr. Adamson said, the taste really is better. It has more of a chocolatey taste, but it's very. Oh, and I have brownie on my hand because I'm eating over here. Distracted. But anyway, I think the texture is more hard, and it's like that rubbery, just a little bit more rubbery. So, taste better, 3.5.
Okay, so the big reveal. Somebody gave me a drum roll in the comments. I saw it pop up. Number 1 was the control. You guys gave that one a 5, of course. It is full of all the sugars and the oils and all the things that make brownies delightful. Why we love them so. Number 2, which most of you ranked at a 3, was the applesauce. Now, a thing to notice, and I noticed when cooking it, is it had more tiny little like air pocket bubbles. It didn't quite blend together as much, which was what also gave it that density. And then the third one, by process of elimination, which was about a 3.5, was the Greek yogurt. And that is, again, it had a little more of that creamy texture. I did notice observations when cooking. You're always thinking, you should always think like a scientist here. It had a little bit of, and that's why it's on Mrs. Torres's finger, is it has a little bit of greasy, it's not grease, it's like a sweaty, it's a bad word to describe a brownie, but it's got like a little liquidy on top. You could definitely tell that it had a little different appearance to it. So, things you can't see on camera, but I noticed when cooking them. I will say that the other two, the two variables were much easier to cut because they weren't so fudgy and gooey. The plating appearance, if I was, really judging on a chef scale here, the first ones were so gooey and moist and wonderful. I couldn't cut them. They were like just all glued like together. So I was just kind of like using gloves and plopping them together to make it what looked like a brownie. The other ones were very easy to cut and I could get very distinct pieces. But I said that third one did have a little sweat on top. Okay. So
Awesome. Thank you.
I hope you all learned a little something. Thank you for indulging me in hosting my own cooking show. I said, kitchen chemistry will be back at some point. I can't wait to teach it again. Don't miss washing the dishes sometimes. I'll say that, kids. But really miss talking about science and cooking with you guys because it's something that we all have in common is we all eat. Most of us like to eat. So it's such a fun conversation. And again, letting you learn something about the science behind it and then just practicing your cooking skills, letting you just kind of go for it. So I think Miss Vogel's going to come back on.
Yes, I am here and I am ready. And I'm going through the comments right now and I am super stoked. Do you want to have a seat because you're about to be on the hot seat? Or are you good standing there?
Oh, you all know I stand all day.
Okay, let's do it. All right. I know all of you out there. I've had so many. There I am. Hey.
You are. I was like,
Yep.
I lost you.
There I am. Apologize for not getting to all your comments and questions, but we are about to get to the hot seat, which is my favorite time of the day. So let's bring on our teachers. We have Miss Russ with the napkin. Woo! And Miss Torres, who's looking beautiful today, such as Katie says. Hi, Miss Torres, and Mr. Adamson. Looks like he is hanging out with Tom in the back closet. I see Tom back there. Hey, Tom's making special appearances. I love it. All right. So everyone that's out there, and if it's your first time watching, thank you so much for joining us. We do this every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and we're excited for you to be here. But this is now my favorite time of the show, and we're going to have to cut it short today, but it is the hot seat. You have been filling out this Google form and doing a fantastic job. We have over 100 questions to ask our teachers and some amazing ideas. So we are going to get some done today, but you can always type in hot seat questions in the comment bar. So if you have a really great question, we'll try to get to them, but we only have about 5 minutes of hot seat question time.
Shocking, I talked too much. I know you're all shocked that I ran over on my show.
No, it was awesome. It was so good. All right. Victoria does have an issue that Tom isn't 6 feet apart. So we have
still has his mask on though.
He does. He does have his mask on. All right. Here we go. Hot seat question. Miss Russ, you are on the hot seat first from Harper. He's in 8th grade and Miss Owsley's. What is your first job?
Oh, first job, I was like a counselor at a day camp at our city park system in my hometown. And so I got to play kickball and do crafts and give snacks. And it was crazy that I even got paid real money for it. But that was my first job.
Wow. All right, next hot seat question. Miss Torres, how do you feel about hedgehog has taken over the world?
Probably not good.
All right.
I know that's you.
I'm sorry, but that really makes me laugh.
Oh, the hedgehog.
Miss Duffett, for anyone, what made you become a Sage teacher?
Well, I was a Sage student myself in this district a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it feels some days. And I loved being in the Sage program. And I taught middle school English and social studies for a long time. And I was just feeling like it wasn't the curriculum wasn't my passion. Teaching was my passion still. Kids are my passion. But I was just feeling a little burnout teaching 7th grade English. And so I had a great, amazing group of students that year. They are now seniors in high school. And they were like, Miss Duffett, you'd be a great Sage teacher. Like the stuff that you do in class anyway is the kind of things that we like to do in Sage. And I was like, well, maybe I would be good at that. And I kind of pursued it. So, you never know, we hope to inspire you, but you all inspire us. So it was definitely kids that kind of, convinced me that I would be good at this. And it is my dream job. Who knew?
Who knew? Mr. Adamson, you have a 2-question hot seat, so be ready.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to say them both. Here we go. Is it hard dealing with Sage kids? And this is Trini, 7th grade, and she is in your class. Is it hard dealing with Sage kids? And do you get frustrated if we ask too many questions?
It is. I don't think. Is it hard dealing with Sage kids? I think probably that teachers tend to put you in into a category, or people, not just teachers, people put you in a category if you're gifted, and you guys are just like everybody else in a lot of ways. So you just have some gifts, some other gifts. So no, I don't think it's any more challenging to deal with Sage kids than it is to deal with other kids. And do I get frustrated when people ask me questions? No, I love it. In fact, that means that I get to show my passion, because I love answering questions about things, and I love talking to students about different subjects. And if you're just sitting there taking in what I'm learning instead of asking questions, sometimes that can get dull. So ask questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, Ms. Torres, this is from Sean. He's 6th grade in Owsley's class. What was your favorite hobby before the pandemic?
My favorite hobby before the pandemic. Okay, so I'm assuming that means like something I can't really do now. I loved going to work out at Orange Theory. That was like, I would go with my friends every single time. And so it was a social thing, but it was a workout thing. And I haven't really felt like I could go back right now. So I missed that a lot. So I would say that was it.
Awesome. Thank you. Miss Duffett, Maddie is 6th grade. Would you kiss a raccoon for $1 million?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yep.
How about a squirrel?
Oh, for $1 million, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm no shame in my game, kids. I could really use $1 million. I got 2 kids going to college in a couple of years. Like $1 million would really be amazing.
That's awesome. Okay, here we go. And this last hot seat question, I can't believe our time has almost ended already. Miss Russ, you are on the hot seat for the last time. Esther, in 6th grade from Fogel's class. If you could be an animal, which animal would it be?
I think I'll go with an elephant. I feel that they're very family oriented and they have really good memory. I wish I had that. So elephant.
And big ear holes.
Yeah, true. I could get bigger ear holes and hear better. I have terrible hearing, you guys. I always tell the team that I have very small, like earbuds won't fit. I can't find earbuds that will fit in my ears. So that's why she said, she mentioned my small ear holes.
I was waiting for them, and they have big ears.
True. I didn't think of it. Good point.
You guys, this time has ended, and this has been one of our most successful shows. So thank you all for participating. Teachers that were not on the screen were definitely in the chat, so we're so happy you're here. I know we're still having some technical difficulties that we're still trying to work through, so we appreciate your patience with that. This time, we'll leave each teacher to say a goodbye, and that will be a wrap. So let's start with Ms. Torres.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I love that we have a new way to feel connected with each other. And I also love that now I'm getting to know so many of you throughout these last several weeks. So hope you stay watching Engage with Sage, and I can't wait to see you here. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. Tier, I know. No, it's exactly how we all feel. Mr. Adamson.
Have a good week, and we'll see you back, and we'll have a lot more fun.
Thank you. Miss Rust.
Sorry, I was trying to respond to some of the questions in the comments. I feel bad when we can't answer them. So I'm going to get an answer in the chat bar. I think somebody asked, how did I get into sewing? But I'm getting to the answer. See you guys later. We can't wait to see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is a big one. So I hope everybody hops on.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Russ. And I agree, Miss Russ, today was so fast that I did tell Isabel that I would write her question down. So I'll try to get through and add them to the hot seat questions, but it really is helpful when you guys also respond to them through the chat bar. So thank you so much. Awesome. And I am going to go ahead and take all of our teachers off the screen and leave our star for today, Dining with Duffet with me. And we're going to go through really quick for all of our friends out there that want to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
We will see you soon, but we're so happy that you're here.
I'm just letting you know there's only 36 seconds left in this timer, so I can check these brownies as soon as we're done. Smells delightful up here. I think we're all ready. All the teachers are ready to eat lunch probably right about now. So it smells like chocolate wonder, guys, when you come out of your little secure areas. I'll put my mask back on. And kids, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for participating today. Bucket list item checked for me, guys.
Awesome. Well, Miss Duffet, you're gonna end our show today. So I'll go, and then you'll be the last one on the show today. I just wanted to make sure you are all aware of the amazing opportunity we have next Wednesday. We have A.Y. Young, who is one of 17 United Nations Young Ambassador. He is a singer and performer and does amazing things that your teacher will hopefully be talking to you about in the coming week. If not, it will also be in Canvas as well. And also, out of being one of the 17 young ambassadors, he's the only one from the United States. And he has agreed to join us, and I'm so excited for that. He will be performing live, and we'll be doing a Q&A with you, our Sage teachers. All right, I am off, and I am going to say goodbye. And Miss Duffet, you are up.
I get to close my own show, finally. So I said, really, I know that sounds maybe silly to some of you, but bucket list item checked off for Miss Duffet to have her own cooking show. Those of you that asked about how we get into teaching Sage, it is my dream job. Never thought I would get to do all these wonderful things with you guys. Never saw myself as a science teacher originally. It was not my jam, and I love it. I'm so passionate about being a good science teacher now, and providing these hands-on opportunities for you. So I said, kitchen chemistry will be back. It'll be better than ever. And I just want to say goodbye. Have a great week. Thank you again. Encourage your friends, if they didn't join us today, tell them to come back and watch it. I think they could all learn something today. So have a good week, kids. I'm signing off. Duffet out.